Hello. Welcome to another series of Flutter development. Today, our agenda is to look at how to use Flutter to create a website. As you are aware, there is a new Flutter version, that is version 3.10, and it comes up with material 3 design. This material has improved the UI design of the Flutter application, and as you know, Flutter is a cross-platform development framework which supports web, mobile, and then window development. So let's have a look at how our application will look like. Now, here is my browser, and I paste in the link of the website in it. So as you can see, the website has loaded nicely, and then we have it here. We have the navbar that features the navigation link. We have a hero card, then the main body of the website. Then on top we have a carousel, and then we have a footer. Now let's look at its responsiveness. As you see that the screen is smaller, this is a tablet display, and as we keep shrinking the screen, we can have a mobile display, which will make our website be able to be displayed on either a mobile or a desktop device or a tablet device. Now let's open our VS Code and have a look at how the code is structured. Now with the VS Code, we first look at the pubspec.yaml file, which is where our packages that we are going to use for the development is. So the following packages have been applied to the system so that it can work well. That is a URL launcher, so that we can launch URL from within the application. We have CEO, a renderer, which also help us so that search engines can index our application. And then we have the assets setup. So we have some assets, that is we have the font, the icons, and then the images, and then a sort of fonts that we have used here. All right, so from there, the next issue is for us to look at the lib folder. Now in the lib folder, first let's consider the main dot dat. With the main dot dat, we first initialize Firebase, and then we are featuring a stateless application which is holding the material 3 design, and then we have our homes widget to be responsive widget. This is a custom widget. Now from there, the next issue is for us to look at the layout folder, which I've created to store the layout files. Right now with the layout, this is the responsive widget, which have a constructor for mobile, desktop, and then tablet. And then we use a screen constraint or the screen width to actually enable which display or which particular widget or device to be used when the screen size changes. So here, if the screen size is less than 600, it should display mobile. If it is between 600 and 900, or by less than 900, it should display tablet. Anything above that, it should display desktop. So that is the main dot that. And then from there we come to the file for the tablet. Now the file for the tablet is also a stateful widget that features a scaffold. Now with the scaffold, we have the app bar, then the body, which will host the row, is a navigation rail. So this is a navigation rail until we are done. Now After that, we have featured the expanded widget, which have a chart that we have customized here to display the various elements that we would like the body to show. Then if we come to the mobile app or the mobile design, we also feature a successful widget which have a scaffold as a child, and then within the scaffold we have the app bar, we have the drawer, which is having the following list until we come to the downside here where the body is a column that have different element that we would like to show. Then finally we go to the desktop app, and then we have the following, which is a stateful widget as well, and then we have the element that we would like to display. Now, for us to keep our code tidy and then the application neat and make it load faster, I just create all the following widgets so that I just use them repeatedly just to keep the code clean. And then from there, I have the app color, which this is a theme of the application and is mostly visible on the desktop side. Now from there, we look at the various ones. So let's go into detail. Now if you have a look at the application again, you see that the nav bar is a very nice and well designed one, which is the desktop header. And with this desktop header, it features a row that shows the list of text buttons. So we have the list of text buttons in it as it is here, and until we are done. Then from there we have the main body and the footer. Then we have the carousel, the testimonial side, the carousel, and then the project and the profile. All these one, they are reused severally so that our code can be clean. Now if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, just subscribe and then turn on the notification button so that anytime there's any new video, you can have a look at it. Now that we have seen the structure of the application, let us go into the terminal and then see how we can initialize Firebase. So the first part is for us to open the terminal. So as we are waiting for the terminal to launch, let's go back to the application again. So this application, the profile, experience, and projects, and then award and contact. Okay, so from there we have um, the carousel, which is the testimonial aspect, and then the footer. Okay, and again the app is well responsive. It can be displayed on mobile device or desktop device. So this is the mobile display, this is the tablet display, and anything above that we go into the desktop display. Okay, so now that the terminal is ready, let's start. We can go to Firebase. First of all, to host your application, you needed to create a Firebase project, and then you initialize the Firebase within the project in the development environment. So right now, after I have already created the Firebase project, so let me go ahead and then initialize the Firebase in my app. So we have Firebase in it, and then we press enter. Now there's an issue here. If you have encountered this issue, all you have to do is to copy the issue like this, part of it, go into any of your browsers, and then click and then search. Now you are likely to come to Stack Overflow, and then you get this line here. So copy this line if you have it, if you have seen it, copy it, and then go into the terminal, paste, and run the command. Now let's go to Firebase init. So yes, now that the Firebase have initialized, there's a question here. So you follow the on-screen procedure and then initialize your app. So right now let's go for hosting, and then we set optional. But because I've deployed this one already, they said there's a question here. Let's go back and then try. So we go for yes, and then we come to the hosting file and then configure GitHub letter, and then we use spacebar to select, press enter. Yes. So right now they say, what do you want to use as your public directory? The Firebase display does not give the public. So what you have to do is that you have to type build/web and then press enter. Then the machine says that uh, configure as a single web page and rewrite all URLs to the index. We go for yes and press enter. Now they say automatically set build and deploy with GitHub. We are not into that one yet, so we say no. Then they say there's already a build in the index. Do you want to overwrite it? Because I've already tried deploy the application, I'll go here so that it can be overwritten. So now it is done. The initialization is done. You can go to Firebase, you go to Flutter build web, Flutter build web, and then wait for the build process to take place. Now while the build process is taking place, if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel and then turn on the notification button. So the build process is in progress, and we are waiting. There are other couple of videos that you have to also look at from our channel, that is app bar widget, the functionalities and its uses, and then Flutter widget in general, container, row, and scaffold. You can have a look at it. The widget of the week, you can have a look at all those ones as we are waiting for the build process to finish. The build process is still continuing. Okay, so right now the build process is done. And the next issue is for us to deploy the codes into the hosting folder. So we go for the command for that purpose is firebase deploy and press enter. So depending on your file size and then the complexity of the project, it will take a couple of minutes to be deployed fully. So as you can see, deploying in progress. So when it is done, we have the link of the website. As you can see here, you hold down your shift and then your control key and then press enter in the terminal. So here we open the link in another browser, and it's loading. The project is loading, and we have the website. So here is our website. Yeah, and it's looking nice. You can view it on phone, on tablet. This is the phone display with the drawer, and then you can go for a tablet with a navigation rail, and then you can go for a desktop view, which is nothing less than a normal full functioning web application. Thank you for watching and subscribe to our channel.